Alrighty, 1 a.m. live stream starting. This is gonna be mad fun. So, how is this supposed to work? Just gonna swap here? Probably, right? Let's see if they screw up launch or not. Because if they screw up, I'm gonna go up to bed. Straight away. Wait, did I change the icon on this stream? Nope. That's stupid. So I have 6 launch. That looks better. So leveling is going to be really cool. There's like so many updates to the fire, to the burning build. There's like new aspect updates to burning. There's really quite some stuff there. It's a small delay. How would you know that there's a delay? Oh, you mean there's a delay from Blizzard? Oh wow, come on. Wait, so we are looking for a small delay due to small technical issue on our end. We're still expecting Vespa to launch this evening, but we'll need some additional time to ensure. Okay. Oh dear. And no date given. Items inaccessible. Oh, okay, so they seem to be fixing Azure Res. Oh, nice. Shroud of Falls Dares, Frostburn. So they seem to be fixing these. But I mean, if they say it's a small delay, it usually takes like 10 hours, so I might just go to bed. Let's see. Well, I guess this is not going to start. Okay, we're performing maintenance. So what is this going to mean? Like, why don't they write, like, it takes an hour, it takes 2 hours, it takes 3 hours? No, they just say a small delay. Two-hour delay? Really? That's so bad. That is just horrible. What is this Diablo 4 Twitter thing? Hmm. So where does he say that? Cannot find anything with 2 hours here. Who uses this website really? Oh, here. Players will start to disconnect. Or we prepare for launch. I can't see anything with 2 hours here. What is the difference between a status and a post? That's already the post I saw, but it doesn't say how long. Same post. Like this one here. So I cannot find info on like something with 2 hours. Really I just see this one here. And then there's the blue post is this one here, which she basically just answered 1 minute ago. So not sure, honestly. No, there's definitely a delay. The Xbox didn't have a pre-download, right? I mean, honestly, emergency maintenance sounds bad. It doesn't sound like, you know what, it's just gonna be a couple of minutes. It just more like sounds like it's gonna take a while. I don't know how long it's gonna take. This is like I'm not gonna say this is unexpected, but I really was hoping they wouldn't screw this up. I don't know. I mean, the launch for D4 went pretty smooth. Hmm. I don't know. Like, the thing I don't like about it, it would be, yes, you say you do emergency maintenance. So just say, we're gonna we're gonna delay it for 2 hours or something like that, so people can do something else. I don't really see like just gonna wait until it's done. It's like pretty, I don't know. Doesn't look like very good customer service to me, honestly. Why does it say 3 posts? This is just 2. Topic has 3 replies. I click on it, it has 1 reply. So what will happen if I press play now? I am honestly surprised. So this is now connecting to live. Oh, unable to find. Oh, the license error. And now people will start ranting probably. Oh dear. Is new? No, it's the old one. Yeah, I mean it is like it is, right? So wonder why there's no dislike here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna wait this out, honestly. Like I don't see this being up at any given time. I mean, might be wrong, but emergency maintenance just sounds bad. I'm maybe gonna give it like, probably like 20 minutes. So probably at half past, I would probably call it a day. And I'm probably gonna check back in like 2 hours or so, but then I just go sleep. Oh, panic not. What is this? This is the official ranting thread here. That's actually funny. Yeah, you know. This is just horrible. I mean, what is even gonna supposed to happen here? Is it gonna switch? Because it still needs to download a patch, right? $1,267 posts in the Don't Panic post already. Oh no, that's likes actually. Views? Whatever this is, I have no clue. Yeah, I also don't get it. Why didn't they shut down the servers like way before? They could have just said like shut down the servers like 4 hours ago or something like that. There's really no reason to do this like on the you make a big update, you make a big developer stream for everything, start at that time. And yeah, Steam, I mean, you need to download the full game on Steam, right? Maybe they forgot to put the game in the Steam store. Maybe somebody forgot to push a button. And now they have to upload it with slow internet connection. You have to re-download it on Steam, or is it at least gonna update? Or is it literally a new game on Steam? That's really unfortunate. But it is like it is. So if they screw it up and I don't know, maybe they screwed something up with the pre-download. Yeah, it's huge. Like the game is. I mean, I don't even know what the pre-release I couldn't even set it up, I believe. So I just had like I just have game settings basically, but I couldn't really set up anything here. So for the preload, I feel like it just preloaded something, but I couldn't set up high resolution assets or anything. So I really have no clue what it pre-downloaded. I think there's not even settings for that. I think that's just game settings. And for downloads, just apply pre-downloads, but you can't really see what it's downloading. 10.1. I mean, the pre-download on PC was definitely a lot. So it was just running at like 100 kilobits because, you know, that's how they put it. But it took like multiple hours. So I assume that on PC Battlenet, I assume you download the entire game at least. But you know, if that game is not going to start, that's not going to help, right? So what is Reddit doing? So why do they make like so many different threads about the same thing here? Yeah, you use unstable currents just for attack speed. It might not be the best. It has to be figured out. Really, I don't know yet how the builds are gonna play. Look at these massive Reddit threads instantly, man. Which one is the bigger one? This one probably. Oh, wait, this is just no. Okay, this has comments. Okay, so I'm hoping just a couple of hours at most. Oh dear. From when is this? I'm hoping just a couple of hours at most, but we shall see. That's such a horrible thing to say. So what's a couple? A couple is at least two, right? How do you use this Twitter thing? From when is this post? Why doesn't it show my local time? 45? 11:45 PDT? No, doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like if he said a couple of hours already. Yeah, I mean, you can probably make like an Twitter account and get into all that kind of stuff, but I feel like the website is like super annoying. Um, it has like all these walls everywhere when you just want to search for like information. It's like super unintuitive where you have to navigate and stuff like that. So this, by the way, this evening Where did they say this evening? Oh yeah, this evening. So 4 p.m. PDT is the official launch. So evening would start at 6, right? And he said a couple of hours. So if they say it starts this evening, you gotta pay attention to the wording. So it's not even evening Pacific yet. I bet you they forgot to upload the game on Steam or something like that. Yeah, 4 p.m. California time. So that's not evening. I don't know. I honestly will probably just return in like 2 hours. I don't see waiting here for something which is likely not gonna happen. I would assume it's gonna be at least 2 or 3 hours. I think. I mean, he wrote like a couple of hours, so I would assume a couple of hours is at least 2, probably 3. So I feel so bad for them. Like I really feel bad for them. I mean, I really feel bad. Like they did all this marketing, all these trailers with the weird pop music, all the YouTube videos. Then they say the global launch, they did the stream and everything. And now literally like 1 hour before the game launches, they make a post, oh, it's gonna delayed by a couple of hours, by the way. And then, they don't even say how many, and then, you just get like a random blog post here from Adam Fletcher saying, a couple of hours at most, but we shall see. Like a couple of hours at most, but we shall see. Like it already implicates, maybe it might as well be like 6 hours or more. I don't know if it's related to the Steam, but it's kind of my assumption that they just failed to upload it on Steam or something like that. Yeah, but whatever. I'm not gonna sit this out. I think, it's like half an hour now almost. And I mean, I assume it's gonna take at least 2 hours. Frozen Orb Hybrid is gonna be good again. I'm likely gonna do a Frozen Orb Hybrid speed farming build with Teleport Enchantment. So you think it's the console version just because the download will take too long? I don't think they would delay it because the download on the console was messed up. I don't know about the Elemental Constellation build, really. I have to say how it goes live. So far, it looks pretty good. But, you know, I kind of have a feeling that it doesn't go live the way it was in the PDR. But, you know, if it goes, I think it's going to be nice. But I think it's not going to be the best way. I mean, we already know that they are fixing the what is it called, the Frostburn and the Azure Rest, because those are not going to be there on launch day. So, where was it? This one here. So they basically said, right, these are out, these two. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be fixing the lucky hit values of these. I don't know why Shroud of False Death is out, but they probably screwed something up. It just feels bad. I have to honestly say it feels bad because, you know, they had all the time to do this before. Like there's just no way. I mean, they must have known this before. Like if you encounter an issue like that, honestly, you have to do this earlier. Like this is not professional. You cannot do like a global release date, you know, have people get up in the middle of the night, get ready to stream and shit like that, and then you just say, oh, know what, yeah, we're just gonna delay it for a few hours. You have to do this way before. But if the console is already downloading the update, and if that would be what's delaying, you know, they didn't care about that before, right? They always say, yeah, whatever. Like when the big patches came out, they just threw the patches live, and then, you know, it was just download it. But yeah. So I really no clue about Elemental Constellation yet. What I'm thinking is in the seasonal journey, we're gonna get the Elemental Constellation. We're gonna get the new Elemental, like the mana regeneration aspect. I forgot how it's called. We're gonna get the gloves, and you know what? My hope is, and you know this is completely unconfirmed, but my hope is you're gonna get Winter Glass in the seasonal journey, because you know they kind of have the Conjuration theme, and you know I'm just hoping for that they put Winter Glass in the cache. But I don't know. I mean, you're gonna get the gloves for the familiars. You're gonna get them early. But about the Winter Glass, I don't know. I think it could fit the Conjuration theme. You're hopefully also gonna get the Serpent aspect for the Hydra. But yeah, it's annoying. But you know, I kind of understand it. But honestly, I don't know what is better. Is it really better to delay the entire game for like Xbox or Steam waiting? Or is it better to just launch it for the people available? Honestly, I don't know how I would do it. So would you be, you know, it's not fair that people can play before other people. I feel like it's really not so relevant for D4. Honestly, there's no kind of race or anything in D4. This is not like World of Warcraft Mythic Raiding or shit like that, right? So there's really no race. Would I open it for the platforms which are available? Yes. I would probably do it, but I can also understand, you know, if the Xbox is downloading, and you know, Xbox is Microsoft, so Blizzard can probably say, you know what, Microsoft, Xbox, whatever, we're just gonna launch. You guys figure it out. Oh, look at this. He has the green icon. How did he get the green icon? Oh, on Xbox. So, okay. So I guess you can already have the download finished on Xbox. So it seems like they disabled the login, but Xbox is already, having it. Probably Steam is still waiting for it, right? Well, this is so many posts. Can you Google Steam Vessel of Hatred? Who cares what's my goddamn age? So where does it say if it's available? Here. I don't know. I don't have Steam installed on this computer. Set it up. So I don't really know if so I don't have Steam. So I would see if I could actually download it on Steam. I mean, I didn't purchase it on Steam, obviously, but yeah, I assume like since there's silence now, this is gonna take a while. Like, there's no way this is gonna go live. Steam players can download the patch right now. Where did that come from? Here. So Steam players can download the patch right now. Separately, players should be seeing a login license error when logging in. This is to be expected. We will have an update shortly on some timing soon. Oh, come on. Just give me an update shortly on timing. So update shortly on timing sounds at least that they're gonna say when it's okay. So this is the same post literally 2 minutes ago. So yeah, I mean, I bet you they forgot to activate it on Steam or something like that. I think it's not even Xbox. Maybe it's Xbox as well, but they definitely screwed it up on Steam. So probably Steam download is going on. So it's about the 2.0.2 patch, by the way. So I cannot even download that. So why can Steam players download this? Why can Xbox players download this? But why can't PC Battlenet download this? But yeah, so while we're waiting, what I was gonna say is we have a very good update to burning damage in general. So burning damage might not be that terrible overall, because we have wait, let's this one. So we have the aspect of engulfing flames, and that is now pretty good actually. So now it does 6% burning damage for mobs for each second they burn up to 30%. So that's a stable 30%. And additional, you deal another 30% to enemies below 50% life. So that's pretty good, actually. So that's, I mean, you can make this a 45% X against bosses, right? Yeah, we're still waiting for the update here. So it's a good 45% burning damage against bosses, which is not too bad for this aspect. And then we have the new, what's it called? I always forget how this node is called. Here it is. No, it's Paragon. Passive skills. Nope. So here it is. So Hydra enchantment buff to 10 seconds. That's actually very good. Like Hydra enchantment was so terrible. And by giving it the 10 seconds now, that's actually pretty nice. Endless Pyre. So Endless Pyre before was 5x per second. And now it does 18% increased burning damage. And it's increased to 75% for mobs which are affected by more damage over time than their total life. So early game, this is actually huge. Because if you're doing like early game with burning builds, this actually happens pretty fast. And once this happens, they basically done instantly, right? So this is actually pretty cool also for the Hydra familiar, the whole burning story. And then there was one more buff. Well, just the firewall temper goes to the utility slot. The node burning instinct goes from 80 to 90%. That's not a huge deal. But overall, burning damage has been significantly buffed. And there's also one more aspect which gives you like an explosion for burning damage or something like that. I don't think that's going to be any good. Okay. I wish he would post like the update here soon, because then, if he says it's going to take a couple of hours. But yeah, so as it seems like, Torment 1 is fairly easy, and Torment 2 seems to be very difficult, or at least, substantially more difficult than Torment 1. So we might stay on Torment 1 for a little longer before going into Winterglass. And since the Torment 1 bosses only drop 2 items, it might be, like a little bit more for the early game build actually before we go into Frozen Orb. But there seems to be nothing new here so far. This is still the same one. I wonder what they're doing. Boost. Oh, I understand. It's pretty sad. You know what's pretty like extreme is if you look at the polls from like Rob and stuff like that. So 75% of players are gonna play Spiritborn. That is just so extreme. Like I would be expecting like 50% maybe, but 75, that's just so much. I don't know what that says about the game. Like, does it say the game is so boring that, you know, the new class is like so hyped that 75% want to play it. Because you know what? The class doesn't look that great to me. I mean, you know, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's something new, yes. But it's not like, if this would be Paladin, right? I would be at like a 95%. You know, I would get it. If you would get Paladin, if you get Hammered in, Sword and Board, whatever, like Aura din, Tesla din, whatever, like we had before, right? I would be like totally in, and I would be say, yeah, you know what, like everybody's gonna play this. But Spiritborn, it really seems like a lot of players, like it doesn't really fit a lot of players' play style. Like it looks complicated, and I mean, personally, I don't really like this whole triple split into like 3 different kinds and whatever. And I don't like melee playstyle in general, but it doesn't really seem to have a lot to do with melee. But 75%? I don't know. Like maybe that poll has been inflated by something, but that's wild. I mean, obviously, it doesn't take into account new players, right? So with the expansion launch, there's probably a lot of new players coming in, and the new players are not going to care what is the new class and what is not the new class. Obviously, it was just a poll on YouTube for people who are already playing, so there wouldn't probably not be a lot of new players answering that poll. But 75% that's wild. I mean, I guess technically you could say 5 p.m. is evening, right? I'm waiting for the update on timing, honestly. I hope it's gonna be up soon. So they say they're gonna delay it for a few hours or whatever. But I mean, Steam players can already download, so what is it waiting for? Xbox players download, Steam players download, PC Battlenet did not download yet. The other platforms are even done. Like, what are you waiting for? 3 is the evening? I would say 3 is afternoon, right? I would say evening starts at 5 p.m. I wouldn't even say 4 p.m. is evening. But maybe it's just my school English. Evening definition. Usually from about 6 p.m. But I know, maybe California evening is something different. Because, they have legal drugs there, so maybe it starts earlier. All right. What am I even waiting for? Am I really waiting for this guy to post something on the timing here? I'm German. It's 2 a.m. in the morning now, so I I feel pretty like it's pretty annoying. You know, you get up at 1 a.m. in the morning and then the goddamn launch is delayed. And you know, when I went to bed, like the post wasn't up yet, so I really feel like this is annoying. Yeah, I want to wait for the timing update. Maybe he says it's gonna launch it, whatever. I mean, it's shortly and soon. How long can that take? But I mean, since Steam and Xbox already have the download, you know, it might not take so long. But what do I know, right? It's Blizzard. I mean, if you pre-download on console, right? I mean, as long as I mean, you can see people have already logged in on console. So, I mean, there's no way they downloaded 100 gigabytes in, you know, whatever, like 15 minutes or so. Like that's not happening. Um, and they say you can download the Steam patch 2.0.0, but that probably mean you download the entire game on Steam. But you know, I don't think what's holding them back, I don't think it's going to be that people are still downloading, because they usually don't care about that, right? Like if people have to download or not, they don't care. They just switch it on and call it a day. So I assume they screwed something else up there. But you know, if everybody can download, you know, maybe he's gonna post, you know what, we're gonna start. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Steam can. I mean, I don't have Steam installed on this computer, but you know, if Steam can update the game or it has to install a different game, I would assume it just updates the old game. Like, why would it wouldn't be? It would make no sense to keep the vanilla version and the Vessel of Hatred version, right? I mean, I don't see a point in doing that. I mean, for the PTR, for example, for the Battlenet launcher, it also copied like, I don't know, 80% of the files from the live game, and then just, you know, patched the PTR on top of it. So I really don't think it just doesn't make any sense from like a business perspective to re-download the entire game, because, you know, bandwidth still costs money, not for free. Come on, Mr. Adam, give me the date. I don't understand how this X works. Why can't I see the latest post of this guy here? Why isn't it ordered by date? I totally don't understand how this is supposed to work, honestly. This is like such a weird website. And then you can't even click on something, right? It's like I don't even know how this works. This is like such a weird website. I don't know. That's not mine. When was the last launch screwed up like this? Was it the main game? I think the main game was also like 2 hours or 3 hours on launch, right? Also, like you have this issue, right? As soon as they open the gates, there's gonna be queues. I don't even know. Just horrible, man. Yeah, there's nothing new here. Come on, Adam, let me play. I'm getting tired. I don't know. I really don't understand how you can screw stuff like this up, honestly. Like this is a billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company. And really this is just organization, right? This is not even a technical issue. I mean, they probably, the download started late on Xbox, the download seemed to be starting late on Steam. You know, they could have done this days earlier. My assumption is they just literally finished the build yesterday or something like that. This is, usually if I would do a launch like this, right, I would say, I would deliver this content like way before that, like 2 or 3 days. I would never do like a patch 2.0.2 on launch day. I would never do this. This is just you in software development, really, you never do patches on the last day. It's just nothing you do. It's meant to fail. Like it puts so much stress on the developers and on the technical staff to do like these last minute patches. And you know what? If you can't get it done in time, you know what? Just don't get it done in time. Like, what's the point of promising a global launch if you then do like a last patch on the day before or whatever? And I don't know. I mean, PC it doesn't wait. PC this pre-download has been on for like 10 days. So I think it's really just the new patch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about people losing their jobs, but um I don't know. I just feel like, these deadlines, this expansion is coming out way too early. I really don't see the time the time is not even smart, but I think the time was released before Path of Exile 2 beta. But there was really no need to release this early. They could have taken another month. Just make season 5 3 months. Just take another month. Get the goddamn game ready. But no, they just don't. And I don't know. I just feel like it's not healthy. I just feel like it's unworthy of like a company of that size. If you're like a small gaming company, if you're like an indie studio or whatever, you can do these things. But I don't know. It just feels weird to me, right? So you make a global marketing campaign, you put trailers on, you go on TV, you spend like millions and millions of dollars marketing a certain time, and then you miss that time. Like that just can't happen. You can't do that. It would be okay if you do like something. I mean, I would understand. So, look, here's what I would do. If this would be my goddamn company, here's what I would do. Okay, I have a problem with the game. So, as you can see here, the post is from whatever, like 2 hours ago, right? So, I would go 2 hours ago, I would just write, sorry for the delays, we have a problem. We're gonna start this game in 4 hours, period. So, I would just say, you know what? I make it 4 hours. If I'm done in 2 hours, good thing. If I'm not done, whatever. But I wouldn't say, you know what, we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it. And I wouldn't say 2 times, we'll have an update soon, we have an update soon. I would just say, you know what, I just delay it until time XYZ. And that's it. Like, this doesn't make it any better, right? Like, people are just going mad on this. And it's a global launch, like it's very hyped. And people can't play. And you don't have a date when you can play. They're not saying what the issue is or whatever. Obviously, they're not going to say what the issue is, but so did I compare the Hydra build against Firewall? Yeah, it's much better. So I mean I didn't have like the pre access, but I played it on the PDR, and it's very strong. And again, the seasonal journey is going to match it. So my assumption is seasonal journey will give you Serpentine aspect for the Hydra, and the unique item for the familiars and like the tree elemental aspect. So I think seasonal journey is going to basically power up that build a lot. And it's a very good build. It works very well. Yeah, that's also the thing, right? People take off from work. I think taking off from work, it depends on the time, obviously, because this is obviously not. Well, I guess if you're like in New Zealand or something like Australia, that region, you are probably like it's probably like noon or something like that, right? I'm not sure about on the time zones, but if you have off like basically tomorrow and you want to play all night, um, it's just a couple of hours delay, which would be all right. But if you would specifically basically take off from work to play the game, and then the game doesn't launch, and you will be like, yeah, nice, you know, just wasted my PTO on a game which is not launching. I mean, which is what I'm doing the same, but I have like so many hours. Not even funny. But I don't even know how long I want to have off, honestly. Like I was planning doing today and tomorrow, and I want to do the build guides, the early game build guides tomorrow. But not sure though. I mean, it's funny. I really didn't expect this to go so wrong, honestly. I mean, I expected bugs, right? I expected login issues. I expected queues, stuff like that. But, you know, the whole launch not working at all, I didn't expect that, honestly. Oh yeah, D3 was horrible, man. Oh, I remember the D3 launch. That was so bad. That took like multiple days until it was working. I mean, D4 on the official launch had actually very little issues, right? I think you could log in right away. I don't even think there was like major delays. Yeah, D3 was horrible, horrible, horrible launch. um, I mean, patches were delayed, right? Seasons were delayed. I don't know which seasons. I don't remember on the top of my head. I think season 3 was delayed by 4 hours or 8 hours or something like that. I mean, there was some seasons heavily delayed. But I don't even think the D4 launch was delayed. I think that was working. But obviously, I think it was no, it was launching on Xbox and PC. But yeah, this is horrible. It is just horrible. So I'll wait for this guy to like do the goddamn update so I can go to bed. Yeah, there was some issues with login, right? So there was queues like I think the when D4 launched, the queue was like an hour or something like that. But once you were in, there was a couple of laggy zones. I think the towns were pretty laggy. And obviously there was bugs, but you know, I mean, expect a huge amount of bugs when this launches. This is gonna be worse than the base game. This is gonna be so full of bugs. Like, I expect so many bugs in Vessel of Hatred. Yeah, in-game board. They what did they do when the chest from the Infern Hordes wasn't dropping the greater affix? You got like one cache with one greater affix item, right? So they should just give you a goddamn mount for free, man. Just give out some horses. Look, if I were Blizzard, I would we just, you know, take like a random designer and say, you know what, you just make like a couple of horses. And I would just call them like the apology horses, and whenever I screw something up, I just give away another horse. That would sound like a good plan. Just give out some apology cosmetics. Yeah, sparks for everyone, why not, right? By the way, the mythic crafting is gonna be horrible, right? I mean, that's gonna be... Is it even in the patch notes? I think it's in the blog post. Yeah. So I mean, you can get a random for 2 sparks. And the runes are rare, right? So you're not gonna do this rune craft early on. But the random mythic for 2 sparks, I don't know if I like this or not, honestly. Because, if you're playing Sorc, it's really like 50-50. So half of the mythics are good, and the other half are trash, I think. So, I mean, which ones are good? Like, a Shaker is good, Air of Perdition is good, Starless Skies is good, Shroud of False Death isn't in yet, so the 3 are good. Tyrell's Might is good, I guess, so there's 4 good ones. And, I guess kind of Doombringer is okay. Occasion. Let's just put Doombringer to bed. So you have 4 good ones, right? Yeah, you have 4 good ones. Shaco, Air of Perdition, Tyrell's Might, and Starless Skies. And then you have how many bad ones? You have the Melted Heart, you have the Doombringer, and you have the Spear of Lysander, Lykanda, whatever that thing is called. So you basically have 3 bad ones. The Spear, I guess, is alright if you get it early, but I wouldn't want to have it. But I guess there's 4 good ones and 3 bad ones. You were able to get Grandfather. I don't think Grandfather. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can craft Grandfather if you're playing Sorc. I would assume, the random Mythic Unique should be usable by your class. But, you never know. With Blizzard, you never know. But, so worst case, it's going to be 4-4, right? There's going to be 4 good uniques and 4 bad uniques. So it basically means you do your seasonal journey and you do your first tormented boss. So after like 3 or 4 hours, you can basically craft a random Uber unique. And that's probably what everybody is going to do. I don't think anybody's going to wait for the runes because the rare runes are just freaking rare. The legendary runes are gonna be way too rare, so I would just not hang on to my sparks. I would just get the random mythic unique. Okay, this is not looking good though. Still no update here. So yeah, I kind of don't know if I like this or not. I mean, if the rune drops are very rare and the drop chance on, so they halved the drop chance on Uber uniques, but then they doubled it on Duriel and Andaria, right? So it's still the same drop chance on Duriel and Andaria, but I mean, you're not gonna have access to World Tier 4 so early. I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure. If you have to farm Uber Duriel with a low drop chance on a low World Tier, it's gonna take forever to get Uber uniques. Yeah, you would need to get one more, which would be Uber Lilith. And I think doing Uber Lilith will also be easy in Torment 1, right? I don't even know if you have to kill Uber Lilith in Torment 1. You might just have to kill it in any difficulty. So yeah, I guess if it's a bad one, you can salvage it, get the 3rd spark, and do another one. If you get like if you get a melted heart, or if you get like the spare of whatever it's called, you can just scrap it, right? You're not gonna need that thing. So yeah, I mean, you might have a fairly good chance actually to get one. And I assume Uber Lilith, I don't know how hard Uber Lilith is gonna be if you do it in normal difficulty. I don't know if you can do it in normal difficulty for a spark. I don't even know if Uber Lilith scales with the world tiers, because on the PTR, Uber Lilith was pretty hard actually. But yeah, I mean, so I think still overall, the random Uber unique is gonna be the one to go to. I mean, I know it's RNG, but farming the Uber uniques from a boss is also RNG. So I would probably just call it like augmented RNG or something like that. Because, you know, let's say you find 4 Uber uniques, like in the boss ladder, like you blast Uber Duriels, you get 4 Uber uniques, then you can craft 2, then you can scrap them, and you can craft another one. So you basically get 3 random uniques for 4 Uber uniques dropped, right? So you get number of Uber uniques minus 1, basically. Right? Is that correct? You get 5 Uber uniques, you scrap them, you get 5 sparks, then you make 2 new ones, you scrap them, you get 2 sparks. Yeah. So I guess it's not going to be so hard to get the Uber uniques this season or in Vessel of Hatred if you just use the random one. And maybe, you know, I guess later in the game the runes are going to become more frequent. Oh, come on. Do I really want to wait for this here? But besides that, I mean, I don't know if I like that Spiritborn is like so overpowered. I feel like they could just make it a little bit less overpowered without really, you know, losing everybody want to play it. But, you know, it's gonna have issues speed farming. So I know it's strong, but I think Sorc is still gonna be better early game for speed farming. So it's probably gonna be faster leveling. And it's probably gonna be faster for speed farming like this whole Kuras Undercity bullshit. And it's also probably gonna be faster speed farming the pits, honestly. Because despite the Lightning Spear nerf, if you like stick to relatively low level content, Lightning Spear is still gonna be extremely strong. You also have access to more critical strike damage now with the new Paragon boards. So, if you look at the Paragon boards, show you, let's see, I have them saved here. So if you look at these Paragon boards, if you're playing Lightning Spear, I think I have one with Lightning Spear, yeah. So if you have Lightning Spear, you have access actually to extra critical strike damage nodes you didn't have access to before. And these are actually pretty huge. Like, if you put, like, for example, Unleash, you actually get 147% extra crit damage from Unleash. So you have this node here, right, which gives 60% already, right? It's 60 plus, these are 15 each, I believe. Are they 15? Yeah. So that's 105% crit you get from this one, right? Then you get an extra 147 from Unleash, so that's 250% crit damage you can get from this. Then these critical strike nodes also have been buffed. So this is like another good 30%. And well, this one I'm not using because I'm using Destruction in this board. But you could potentially also buff up this critical strike damage node, and there's even more critical strike damage nodes in this board in the middle. So if you count this all together, right? So you have a 30. So this is 60. This is 120, 150, 165 plus 165. That's 225, right? 225 plus 45 is 270. 300. So this is 330% extra crit damage plus the 150 here. So that's 480% extra crit damage. you get, except for the glyph, right? So you get an extra 480% crit damage, which is actually pretty much. And I think that's all the nodes, right? Does Fundamental Release have crit damage nodes? I don't think so, no. But I mean, that's a good 500% extra crit damage you didn't have before. And then you have still the non-physical damage double dipping. So even though it's not going to be a top pit pusher build, I think it's still going to be viable, especially in speed farming like pits for like, you know, glyph updating and stuff like that. The Xmas Christmas double drop chance. But yeah, I honestly think it's gonna be more hours. A full elemental build? What do you mean by elemental build? Like you mean like the familiars thing? Uh, I don't think it's, I mean, I don't think it's even gonna be off meta. I think it's just not usable. The whole issue with the conjurations is the cap on the conjurations. So conjurations do very low damage and they're not spammable. So the 6 familiars, they're not gonna do a lot of damage. So I mean, it's gonna be a decent leveling build, but it's gonna fall off. The conjuration damage in general just falls off like very sharp. I would love for conjurations to be a playable build. I mean, I guess if you're not, you know, want to push like any kind of high content, if you just want to do like some relaxed gaming, you know, you can probably do like Torment 2 or maybe Torment 3 with that, but you know, it's not gonna be endgame viable. But I don't like the familiar skill so much anyway. I feel like it's just like flying around. It's being pretty annoying. It's doing unpredictable damage. It has no area of effect other than, you know, it has a little bit of AoE, but not sure, honestly. The gloves are pretty badly designed. Um, it is, yeah, I mean, it's simply not meant for endgame. You know, a lot of stuff is actually not meant for endgame, which is kind of odd. But it might be. I mean, conjurations in general is fun to play, right? Hydras are pretty cool. Like I always liked hydras. Hydras are pretty cool skill. It would just be nice if they would do the damage, so you could actually do some kind of an end game build. Because you know, I cannot do this whole like piano button smashing build stuff anymore. It's really like exhausting. And you know, I feel like most of the builds are kind of evolving into, you know, you have to just press buttons like crazy. Um, like with the Sorc builds, you have to press your defensive skills all the time. You have to press your conjurations all the time. You have to press your ice armor all the time. You'll be really just smashing the buttons when they become available. And conjurations would be a nice twist. So you just, you know, put up 3 hydras, cast your familiars, and you know, just watch the screen for a couple of seconds while they kill everything. Yeah, we're not gonna get items changing skills entirely. They're too busy doing like weird item updates. Yeah, I'm not using macros for that, but you know, I might actually start doing that because I feel like it's just too exhausting. And I don't think you're gonna get banned for like using keyboard macros because technically you are not allowed to. But you know, I don't really think they would care. But yeah, like a unique focus would be cool because they keep putting stuff on like the glove slots and everything. But I don't know. In general, I just miss like you know skill alterations in Diablo. Like I miss them a lot, and that's like you know I want to shoot my charge bolts in a Nova. I want to have my frozen orb orbit me. I want to have my firewall come out in Nova. I want to you know like you remember Firestorm from the Diablo 2 druid, like something like that. Um like ice shards, like how to shoot like ice shards in an angle in front of you. Yeah, firewall wave. Firewall wave actually is pretty cool. If you that would be cool. I didn't even think about that. Firewall wave would be awesome. Um yeah, Nova Sorc would be awesome, definitely. But I mean, so far, I mean, if you look at the state of the game, right? I mean, look at the game at launch. So, what is the difference between the game now and the game at launch? The game at launch had a shit itemization system and it had shit endgame. Then, pre Vessel of Hatred, we had a little better itemization system. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a major improvement. It was a little better. We removed some of the useless stats, but you know, the stats are still. I mean, itemization, like the stats on Diablo 4 items are pretty boring. Like, there's nothing really interesting there, right? There's no whatever. And then, you know, in season 5, we got like or season 4, we got like the extra projectiles and stuff like that. You know, it was kind of starting to get interesting. And now they're already pulling back on that. They removed the extra projectiles again. So, and so what did we get in Vessel of Hatred actually? So we didn't really get anything new regarding itemization. We just got more ways to get the items. And I would have loved to, instead of getting more ways to get the same boring items, maybe get new items. Right? I mean, now I have like 15 million ways of getting the same shit. I have like the you know, the bargaining or battering, whatever it's called, with the mercenaries to get the same items. I have the Kuras Undercity to target farm the same items. I have the boss ladder to get the same items. I have the Infernal Hordes to get the same items. I have the Nightmare Dungeons to get the same items. I have Helltides to get the same. So yeah, it's just more ways of getting the same. And even though, you know, it's cool that you put new content in the expansion, but the new content is not really targeting anything new. Yeah, a couple of new mythics, obviously. But I mean, there's a couple of new items, yeah. But I really would like to have like new item affixes. Like for example, if you look at like a weapon, right? If you look at weapon affixes, it's actually retarded. Like how, like let's take a sword, right? And you use like a one-handed weapon. And now, I mean, look at the amount of affixes there are, right? There's 15% chance to heal, which is absolute garbage. Nobody's ever going to use this. So there's intelligence, there's crit damage, there's damage over time, there's maximum life, there's overpower damage, there's vulnerable damage, and there's lucky to respawn resource. So literally on the weapon, there's intelligence, 1 damage, and life. Every single build. Never gonna change. Intelligence, damage, life. So then go for focus, right? Focus you have a little bit more actually, but you know, is it really so much more? I mean, you have cooldown reduction, yes. You have intelligence, you have crit chance, and then you have damage and life, lucky hit chance, maximum resource. Nobody uses this. maybe resource cost reduction, mana on kill, completely a dead stat. So you have like 6 stats you can get on a focus or something like that. Like on pants, pants are so horrible you don't even need the third affix. So what do you get on pants, right? You get armor. You get armor, you get intelligence, you get max life, right? That's it. So there's no other affixes you would ever want to get. Of course, you can get resistance, but you usually will have resistance maxed. Thorns you don't care about, dodge chance you don't care about, healing receive you don't care about, life per second is complete garbage. And ranks of basic skills, yeah, sure, if you're playing a basic skill build, maybe. But, so basically you have 3 stats, right? That's it. End of story. It's just so little. I don't know. I mean, obviously, like the whole damage on Tuesday stuff, like was horrible, but I just feel like it's missing like so much variety. Even the all stats are gone. Like the all stats were even debatable. Like you could get all stats to boost your power icon. Even that is gone. The life on hit was a cool stat you could potentially use to craft like builds. That is gone. And tempering, it has so many bogus affixes you never need. Yeah, ranks on your weapon and focus. Why not, right? But I don't know. Also, like the skill ranks are like so irrelevant, I feel like. So updating a skill really does so little. Like if you whatever, like let's just take a frozen orb, right? So the frozen orb. Wait, why can't I? Apparently I cannot full screen the skill tree. So a frozen orb, right? So skill levels used to be everything, and I think it's kind of the fantasy of like RPGs +1 to skills, +1 to all skills is like the go-to affix. Like, why doesn't +1 to all skills exist? That is such a cool affix, and it doesn't exist. And I hate it. I hated that affix. Like in Diablo 2, like everything was, you want to have +2 to all skills on your amulet. You want to have +5 to all skills on your weapon. So it was like getting all skills, and your items work for all builds, right? It's a good system, but skill damage is like so little, right? So one skill level increases the damage here by what is it? 5%. Like one skill level is 5%. So I don't know. I feel like one skill level should be at least 10 or maybe 15%. Right? I don't want to scale like percent damage. I want to scale skill levels. That is just it's just a better concept, I feel like. Yeah, useless affixes shouldn't exist. I would totally agree. And we have so many useless affixes. And obviously it's like much less useless affixes than before, but there's still like so many useless affixes. Like especially like on the amulets, like all the whatever, right? There's like so many of them. Lucky hit to heal, life per 5 seconds. I mean, resistance are obviously not useless, but maximum resource is pretty useless. I mean, some classes can actually use it, but mana on kill, this is like such a conditional stat. Then that's already it. Like they also removed like a lot of stats from the amulets. I don't know, man. That's like, I mean, on chess piece is also like, it's always the same affixes, and there's no implicits. That's also something I hate, that there's no implicits. Like, for example, if you look at Path of Exile, right, the armors have implicits. So the one armor might have a higher armor, the other one might have 5% movement speed, the next one might have, whatever it's going to be, 3% all resistance. So, I think the update is going to come shortly, honestly. Yeah, I mean, implicits on Pass of Exile are wild, right? There's like the whole crafted special implicit. You know, I never got into like deeply into the crafting systems of PoE1, but yeah. But I think there's no update coming. 27 divine, oh, 27k. That's a little bit. But yeah, I mean that's very high end, right? So I don't even want to look into like the very high end crafting. So I feel like low tier crafting is way more interesting, right? Why is Diablo 2 so cool? Because you have the low tier rune words and they're actually meaningful. And low tier crafting in D4 literally doesn't exist. Like, yeah, you can exchange one affix, good for you. I don't even want to call tempering and masterworking crafting. It's just like an RNG system, which is upgrading your items, but I wouldn't call that crafting. Crafting for me is to put specific modifiers on an item, and I don't know. Tempering is just basically you just randomly get like a stat on there, but I feel like it's not really so much crafting. Yeah, but I mean that's insane. Like I would never like get the time to get so far. But you know, I'm really looking forward to PoE 2. I think it's going to be very, very refreshing. I just like build crafting. I like gear crafting, but I also like build crafting. And in D4, build crafting, well, it's not really satisfying, right? Uh, but like in PoE, when it's gonna come out, there's gonna be like a gazillion skills with supports, and you know, naturally, it just creates so many different builds. And D4 just doesn't have like a real support system. Like you cannot really change your skills. And that's why the build variety is so low. You basically just take the same, and you know they're gonna add like a new unique item once like in a while, or they're gonna add a new aspect once in a while. But 99% of the build customizing is basically just getting more multipliers or finding some way which you know kind of synergizes the way that you know it deals more damage. But it's not like you know altering the build. It's more like finding stuff which is going to increase your damage multiplicatively. I get 20% more here, 30% more here, 40% more here. You know, test the bug, the aspects against the dummy to find the one which is bugged, doing double damage and stuff like that. That's not really build crafting from here. Yeah, secondary weapon slot. That sounds complicated though. So there's nothing new here. Honestly, I feel like it's a bigger issue. Yeah, should have. Like this post messed it up for me, man. Like, why do you write, we'll have an update shortly on some timing soon, and then you, like, this has been more than an hour ago, right? If you want to update me on a timing, then do it. If you tell me you don't have an update on a timing, just don't post this. And, you know, I feel like this is going to take at least some more hours, so I'm probably going to call it for now. Just looks like a bigger issue to me, honestly. My wife left me because the game is delayed. Yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. Like, they should just make up a time, right? Don't give me this, you know, it's gonna be up when it's up. Just say, you know what, we're gonna delay it for 4 hours, we're gonna delay it for 6 hours. You know, if you're done earlier, then you're done earlier. Good for you. You're still gonna stick to the plan. But you don't do like a random delay like this. You just give a time. And then people, you know, will return at the time. And then, you know, if the game is still not up in 4 hours, if you can't make it, then you can delay it again. But don't do this. We will have an update shortly. That, and then don't give it shortly. That's the issue I have with that. Because by writing this, you're implying, you know what, in like half an hour, I'm gonna update you, and it's gonna take. Then I'm gonna tell you it's probably gonna take like 5 more hours or whatever. But since they do not do this, you know, my assumption is this is gonna take at least 2 or 3 more hours. So yeah, I'm gonna call this for now. So I'm gonna check back in like probably like 2 hours from now, and we see where it goes. But I don't see like a point in waiting for this. So make sure to tune in when maybe it launches. See you soon. Do one more check here. Check for updates. Oop. All right.